So watch for crews responding to this late-breaking item. 50 eastbound at Hobbs Road in Salisbury. Good go on the bypass around town. Business 50, Business 13, not bad. Still dealing with an overturned vehicle, Mapleway and Crossway in Salisbury. Big picture looks good in Sussex County on 13. 113 and Route 1. 404 Cross County looking good. Worcester County northbound Coastal Highway at 41st Street. Watch for the construction zone through there. Get through that construction to the right. Fenwick Island, lane restrictions on Route 54 till 5 o'clock this afternoon. Route 54 near Dukes Road. That's going to be the Canal Bridge near Harpoon Hannah's. That's your traffic for the Voice Radio Network.
All right, 829. Man, let me tell you something. That road by Harpoon Hannah's, I will say that, like Route 54.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is?
Yeah. Oh. Like in the summertime, like you think you're doing something, like taking that road to,
like a back way.
to get into Ocean City or whatever.
No.
It gets crazy up there. Just FYI. I don't know how it is now, like I guess since the season's over, but I know it gets pretty wild up there and they're doing construction and all that. Yeah, there used to be a place up there. I think it is still up there called Ken's Pizza.
Okay.
They had
really good
bomb cheesesteaks. Ken's Pizza.
I'm gonna look that up.
So, all right, guys, here we go. Here's a couple trending stories that are happening. I don't know if you saw this or not, but Stephanie McMahon has resigned her role as the co-CEO of the WWE.
Tell me why.
That was breaking news that happened yesterday. Well, she put out a statement, and I'll read it, but I have my theory of why.
Oh, you don't believe it.
Okay.
I knew it. Bill always thinks that something's funny.
No, it's something, and I'll tell you what it is, but here we go.
Oh, gosh, okay.
This is the official statement. It says, about 8 months ago, I took a leave of absence, and within a few weeks, unexpectedly had the opportunity of a lifetime. I had the privilege to return as co-CEO and chairwoman on the board of WWE. I cannot put into words how proud I am to have led what I consider the greatest company in the world and working alongside the remarkable leadership team and one of the strongest executives I have known, Nick Khan. Our founder, Vince McMahon, has returned.
Yeah, that's her dad. Right? That's her dad.
Yeah, let me repeat this. Our founder, Vince McMahon, has returned as executive chair and is leading an exciting process regarding strategic alternatives. And with Nick's leadership and Paul Triple H as chief content officer, I'm confident WWE is in the perfect place to continue to provide unparalleled creative content and drive the maximum value for our shareholders. WWE is in strong position that I've decided to return to my leave and take one step further with my official resignation. I look forward to cheering on the WWE from the other side of the business, where I started when I was a little kid as a pure fan.
Yeah.
I will always remain dedicated to WWE. I truly love our company, our employees, our superstars, and our fans, and I'm grateful to all of our partners. Thank you for everything. Then, now, forever together, Steph. Here's my theory.
That's a good statement.
No, that's fine.
I mean, she stepped in when her dad wasn't going through something.
Daddy's back.
Yeah.
And she out.
Yeah.
But not in a good way.
Oh, you don't think so?
No, I think that Vince is, all right, here's what I think.
I mean, he paid off all the women that he was going to. Now she's like, all right, now this is a stressful job. What? That's the truth. Let's call it what it is.
He paid off the women.
She stepped in to help her dad out. She's there with her husband. Now he's back. He paid them all off. He's back. There's no more legal stuff going on. And she wants to go back to putting her feet up. Come on now.
Yeah, putting her feet up.
And she can be a wife. And, her husband is there. Her dad's back.
Let me just say this. Vince McMahon was, the head of WWE forever. I mean, it's Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
And, there was a lot of complaints about WWE. And especially when Impact Wrestling came around, and then AEW. Yeah. AEW was really, that's what I mean, AEW taking over. It almost seemed like, not really, it wasn't taking over, but AEW, the creative side, they got a little competition, and a lot of, fans were showing their, frustration with WWE with the storylines and things like that. And again, I haven't kept up in a long time. Yeah. So I'm just putting out what I think. And again, I'd love my wrestling fans to check in 302-858-5117. But, they said that Vince was, tired and the creative, control and all this. It wasn't as good as it used to be. It was
Right.
too predictable. And AEW was taking over. And I was always a defender of WWE, and I still am. But then, with all the allegations and everything that happened with Vince McMahon and all this, apparently Triple H took over. Now, before he took over, Triple H was in charge of the NXT.
Yeah.
And NXT, everybody was saying, oh, that's better than regular WWE. That's supposed to be for the up-and-comers. But because Triple H has creative control, that's better. That's the best thing WWE has. So now that, then Triple H took over and everybody was saying, yes, Vince is out. Triple H is in. He's taking over. WWE is like getting better. It's getting better. It's back.
Yeah.
It's back. Now all of a sudden Vince is coming back. I'm hearing people like make little comments. Triple H is out next.
You think?
I don't think he's out totally, but if Vince comes back in and puts his hand, I don't know. But Vince McMahon is a legend. I mean, Vince McMahon is Vince McMahon. So some people are not happy about him coming back because they say it's not going to be as good as, I never thought it was bad. I thought it was always good. And the numbers
you
and
could-
people
you
prove.
could see some of the changes that were made when Triple H was in his position.
Yes. And I know you guys are active watchers of WWE in your
I
house.
don't watch it as much as,
But you see it probably more than I do lately,
I
So
don't sit down and watch it as much as like probably I should or could, but
936 checking in. Roman Reigns and the Usos need to lose them belts. Roman Reigns is my fave.
I like him.
Yeah, but they said
Yes.
they've had the belts too long.
Oh, I don't know. I
So-
like them. But that's just me because I just go for looks.
We're not talking about who you want to make out with.
I know. It's
All right,
no
so-
secret.
Yeah. So Stephanie McMahon is resigning, and we'll keep you up to date on that. But that's something.
Wow.
That is something. So what up, Marvin?
Hi, Marvin.
So there you go. Some other trending stories that are happening. The trailer for Pamela Anderson's personal documentary came out yesterday. It's called Pamela, A Love Story. It'll hit Netflix on January 31st.
Okay.
And here goes part of the trailer on that.
I blocked that stolen tape out of my life in order to survive. And now that it's all coming up again, I feel sick. I want to take control of the narrative for the first time. I didn't feel like I had a lot of respect.
Did you want to be a serious actress?
I am a serious actress. I don't care what people think, because it's the only choice I had. If I cared what people think, I wouldn't be here. Some men think, oh, she's the Playboy thing or the sexual person. And they hate you for being something else. Maybe I just do all the interviews naked. There's no mystery here.
All right, the Pamela Anderson documentary. They're still talking about the Tommy Lee tape?
Yes.
Didn't they have like something? Wasn't there like a show with Pam and Tommy recently on one of the streaming networks?
Oh, there was something that they put out.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it was.
Well, now they're doing a documentary
that.
on Netflix. Netflix does a
Wow.
great job, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes if you care about that. Now, Stephen A.,
Yeah.
my guy, Stephen A. Smith, went on the Draymond Green show. Yes, NBA star Draymond Green, he has a podcast. Draymond Green and Stephen A. talked about Skip Bayless.
Okay.
Now, we've been talking about Skip
Yeah.
Bayless and covering the story. Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp on Undisputed. Skip put the tweet out during the whole, DeMar Hamlin situation on Monday Night Football, basically asking about when the game would resume or whatever. And people brought, Skip
They got
over the
upset.
coals.
Yeah.
And Stephen A. reacted to Draymond Green. He was asking him about it because, for a long time on First Take, I mean, that's where Skip came from. He was one of the originals on First Take on ESPN, and then he went over to Undisputed on Fox. But Stephen A. and Skip Bayless are friends and have been for years off the air. And Stephen A., he went ahead and reacted.
A guy who
This is Draymond Green.
I don't think people will ever be able to separate y'all names just because of the history on First Take. Skip Bayless recently made some comments, and when speaking of no mercy, recently made some comments about DeMar Hamlin. And the comments that he made live during the game, I think everyone knew immediately in that moment they were wrong. Like, this guy just passed out. We just watched CPR be administered on live television. And you say a game should continue. That's no mercy. That's not having any, number one, feel I think the field there is just off. But no, secondly, that to me, I always speak about how people view the athlete. And that's having no mercy at all for just the athlete, for the mindset. When you think of today's day and age and everyone, the awareness around mental health and all of these different issues. And to say that someone who, Steph Curry's a brother of mine. Like Klay Thompson is my brother. You blood, sweat, and tears with these guys. You experience some of the highest of highs in life with these guys and some of the lowest of lows in life with these guys. And to say that you can just witness that, number one, as a player, let's not even look at it from DeMar's standpoint in his life. Let's just look at it from the standpoint of players, athletes in general.
Okay.
To say that Josh Allen can witness that and then just go call a play and throw a football, like, what about the compassion for the athlete? Now, I don't even want to go to the compassion for DeMar and his family because that's a totally different thing. And that really goes to an entirely different category. So I'm really just trying to keep it sports. But when speaking of no mercy and someone that you've worked with, what was your opinion and thoughts on Skip? And then to double down and say, oh, no, I stand on that even after knowing the condition that he's in. I guess for me, I can respect you saying you stand on your opinion. I can respect that. But at the same time, it feels low.
First of all, let me get this out the way. Skip was wrong. Plain and simple. If we were on first take together and he was sitting across from me, I'd have told him he was wrong. There's no doubt about that. And that needs to be said. At that particular moment in time, you can use a phrase, feel in the room. You can use whatever other phrases that you want. But at the end of the day, it reached a point where it was not about football. It was not about games. It was about a young man's life being on the line. So there's no defending that. And I agreed with Shannon Sharp's position on that. Having said that, what I will say, and there were people that wrote articles that Stephen A. came to the defense. No, I didn't. But I did explain. What I mean by that is, number one, it's important that I preface any comment about Skip Bayless in terms of saying this. Draymond, I'm not here today if it were not for Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless is the one that brought me on First Take. And I will never walk around like I don't owe that man a lot. But I disagreed with him after I owed him that on First Take every day. So why can't I disagree with him now? And why wouldn't I disagree with him in the future? I'm sure he would disagree with me. I promise you he disagrees with what I'm saying right now. That comes with it. But remember when I talked about attacking what someone does as opposed to attacking them? Mm-hmm. I've known Skip for 20 years. I know people who despise him. I know people who think the worst of him. I know all of these different things. I'm not one of those people. And I will always have love for my man. I think he was wrong, but I also knew what mistake he made. Dre, he's looking at the game, and here's what he's thinking about. He's seen Jack Tatum paralyze Darryl Stingley. He saw Michael Irvin on the turf at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, believably paralyzed. He just recently saw Tua Tagovailoa get carried off the same field in Cincinnati by ambulance and was concussed. I mean, his body stiffened up like it had rigor mortis kicked in. And throughout NFL history, which Skip Bayless has been covering since the 70s, he's seen the game continue. And a lot of times people are not taking that into account. You can say we're living in a different time. That is true. We are living in a different time. But you also have others who hold on to a certain culture. Now, sometimes they hold on to certain cultures in the world of politics. We don't like that. World of news, don't like that. Social justice issues, we damn sure don't like that. But in the world of sports, there's tens of millions of people who hold on to the way things used to be. which is what the new media, as you like to call yourself, right, like to bring up. How you got cats that hold on to it. What I'm saying to you, Draymond, well, that's who you're talking about.
Thoughts?
It's good. This is getting good. This is getting good.
This is why I love
think
Stephen
he's
A.
putting things into perspective.
And he does that. I think that Stephen A. would have handled it on First Take. If they were together, Stephen A. knows he's just great.
I don't feel that Skip Bayless with that initial thought, like you and I talked about it already.
Yeah.
Like we're so used to a player gets hurt, they bring the card out, whatever the situation is, it goes to commercial break, we come back, they're on the next play. Like we have never known it to stop, postpone a game, cancel a game that way.
Right.
And so, yeah, I could go along with Stephen A. where he says, yeah, that's his culture. That was his belief that you're going on from, all right, somebody was hurt, get them off the field. Let's go on to the next play. This is a big game. We're going into the playoffs. This has to happen. Again, I never, ever, ever have seen a player go down and where they perform CPR and what transpired.
Well, at that point,
so
it was just a wrong tweet at the wrong time.
Yeah.
It was. He was wrong for tweeting that.
Mm-hmm.
Should he be disciplined? I think so.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Stephen A. is just good at putting things into perspective.
Yeah.
So, thoughts and comments, 302-858-5117, 845.
Wake up every Thursday morning starting at 6 with Bill